Thank you all for being here. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, I'm going to, first of all, these ladies need no introduction. They are why you are here. We have a packed house, or shall I say church. But I want to start with Nic, because congratulations on your adult debut. How was your writing process different for Boomtown than your previous novels?
I didn't take the sex out of it.
And there was a lot in that.
You know? Nobody's putting this on high school shelves, so
right.
I don't have to worry about being banned. It was so fun. I finally feel like an artist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I've been writing, this was book number 16.
Yes, and I
finally, I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to be, an artist. Because I don't know about y'all, but, for me, with middle grade and YA, there's so much strategy involved because there are gatekeepers. So there are all of these, shout out to all of the teachers and librarians in the room, where are you?
Yes.
So I rock with y'all doing the thing. But it's also people who don't read, who are like, ooh, that book has a black kid on it. We're not gonna let our children have that, So I don't have to deal with that in the adult space, and it has been delightful.
And you said now you feel like an artist.
Now I feel
When
like
did it start feeling like that for you?
When my editor told me I didn't have to explain how a character was feeling. Literally, that was the moment. It was these are adult readers. You don't have to give them emotional language. They already have it. And I was like, oh, take that out. Yeah.
I love that. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Now I have a question for all three of you. Have you noticed differences in how readers respond to your YA versus adult work? Feel free to jump in.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I don't know. Have I noticed differences in the way that readers respond to my adult versus my YA work? I don't. There's a bleeding between both of them. They blend together. For me, even in the process of writing both of these types of work, they come from the same place. So and it feels the same way with the way that my readers respond to it. It's all coming from the same place. All of it is connected. A lot of the stories that I write are connected. The YA stuff are connected to the adult stuff. And mind you, I'm talking about readers and writers in the same, because to me it's all the same. That exchange is all the same, and that reaction is all the same, and the way that readers read and writers write, there's just it all blends together for me. And so even when it comes to writing YA versus adult, for me, it's the same. It comes from the same place. I don't have parameters when I'm writing for young adults. When I'm writing, I'm not even thinking about the idea of writing for young adults. I'm just writing the story. And whatever comes, and I don't worry about I don't worry about all of those things that I probably should be worried about, or that some think that I should be worried about. I've read stories, and I'm sorry I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm just thinking about all of this because it's all big. But I've read novels where they're categorized as adult novels, but their main characters are 9 years old. I'm thinking of Famished Road. Main character Azora was 9 years old. That's a very adult book. It's just through his eyes. Beast of No Nation as well. So I don't know, when it comes to these categories and what's the difference between the two, it's very blurred. The lines are very blurred for me.
What about you, Ali?
I agree. I think the difference for me was mostly at the editorial level, kind of like what you said. There are gatekeepers, and within. I remember within my publishing house, there were people who said, we can't have this in the YA because otherwise, I don't know. That is, I wish that was what they had said. It was actually more like, and what if this like big bookstore doesn't carry it then? So it was, I think they were more worried about money than about banned books, as publishers usually are, which is fine, you know. Yeah, aside from that, like while writing it, it's, you know, it's a story. I do think that there is a little bit more just care in, I guess in the message, mostly in the sense of like, could this potentially be triggering for a younger reader? And could this be something that, you know, gives them an impression that, you know, something is acceptable or not? And not that I think necessarily that like young adult books should be a manual, but just like taking a little more care with the messaging. But aside from that, you know, it's a story and you just try to be as true to the story as possible, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't really work like that. And I love that y'all do, but like they do not come from the same place for me. I don't know, it might have something to do that like with the fact that when I started writing in the category I did. I started writing in YA because I was starting to understand my own adolescence. I was like 28. And then I had kids. And then having kids, now I'm writing for my kids when I'm writing in either the middle grade or like I'm thinking of my children. But like when I'm writing adult, I'm thinking of myself. So
I love that.
We turning up.
Right.
Up here.
And we do turn up in her latest book. Now, Nnedi, I have a question for you. Can you talk about real life experiences, places, or stories that have inspired your fictional worlds?
That's like everything, everything that I've written on, like on a macro level and on a smaller level. I mean, like, yeah, that's like the foundation of writing for me. It's always very personal, even when I'm writing what's considered fantasy or science fiction. There's always a personal connection. There has to be a personal connection. Even like down to in my Insibidi Scripts series, Sunny in the first book, she fights some I guess bullies, and she takes on like three people at a time. And the way I was able to write that scene was, I mean, you know, when I was around that age, I used to fight a lot. I used to fight a lot.
That's where the inspiration came from.
Yeah, it was very easy to write her fighting those three, because I was the same way. I was like one of those who, you know, skinny and scrappy, but I put the cray in crazy. You know, I didn't care, you know. So I remember laughing as I was writing it, because I was like drawing from that personal experience. That's just one small thing. And then also with that same series, you have kids who have people who have these mystical abilities, and one of the ways that I was able to write about mystical abilities was from athletics. You know, I played semi-pro tennis from the age of 9 to 19, and I was also a track star, so I'm very athletic. And so when I'm writing about, for example, someone who could, you know, who could fly or do these mystical things, I would think about tennis, for example. In tennis, there were moments where you're playing and you're like playing out of your mind. It's called treeing, and that's where that term from Binti comes from. It's a tennis term. And when you're treeing, it's like when you can do no wrong. It's hard to explain. You could see through time. You know, when you would literally see where the ball was going to go before it would go there. And I remember what that felt like. So if I'm writing about somebody with these mystical abilities, I'm just drawing from that. So there are all sorts of things, all sorts of ways where I may be writing about something that seems impossible, but it's very connected to my own personal experiences. And that's just how I write in general.
Is there any like memorable fan moment that you have, like of someone, like a fan approaching you about your work?
I mean, yeah, there are lots of them.
Is there any that you would like to share?
Let me see. I think there was one where, I mean, I don't like saying fan, but like it was someone who had played tennis with me, and who had recognized the treeing when I talked about just that treeing was something that I wrote about in the Binti series, and it was someone who I had played tennis with and who had played me, and she understood.
She understood.
Yeah,
she
got these connections that no one else would have made.
She made the connection.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, Ms. Ali, your books blend academia and romance so seamlessly. How do you strike the balance between scientific realism and storytelling?
I feel like because it's a rom-com, I don't concern myself too much with realism. Maybe I should more. But thank you. Nick said that I don't have to, so I'm gonna be more and more unhinged from now on. But I think one of the fun things of I started writing through. I began in fan fiction. Fan fiction is still like my entire heart, and I started writing fiction in the year that I was writing my PhD dissertation, and I was so stressed out, and I was writing so much like dry, boring data stuff, and I was just like, I need something else, something that makes me actually happy. And it was so fun to write like about these characters that belong to someone else and put them in the same sort of environment that I was in, and like kind of make fun of the environment through these characters. That's kind of how I started writing. So for me, it's not necessarily about realism, but more about like, what if I put someone in a situation that is as ridiculous and as stressful and as horrible as the situation that I am in right now, in this very moment? And actually, no, what if I put them in an even worse situation and then looked at how they react? So, and that is kind of like the fun part of writing rom-coms or like just generally contemporary romance, that like you can have these truly over-the-top situations that are like never going to happen in real life, but like, it's like, what would I do? What would they do? What would anyone do? And yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it really is. I want to ask all three of you, because we're here to talk about YA and adult fiction, but do any of you ever worry about being pigeonholed into one category versus the other?
I refuse.
Oh, I love that. I refuse.
I think and especially as women, right? We absolutely live in a world that wants to keep us small and manageable. And this is how I feel about that.
Also, the nails are stunning. Just unrelated, but
I am the vainest person any of you will ever meet.
I love that.
No, you have no idea. People will be like, oh my gosh, you look so good. I'm like, I'll thank my plastic surgeon for you. But that's the thing, right? I think it is important, especially as writers who have developed a bit of a platform, to make sure that our young readers especially know that they can do multiple things, right? You can be good. Every person in this room is a highway. You don't have a lane, you got 8 or 9. So change lanes as many times as it's your highway. Do what you want to do. And people will adjust, is how I feel about it. And if you don't adjust, it's fine, you can leave.
You can leave. Thank you for that. I think we all needed to hear that.
Agreed. Agreed. And I refuse as well. But I think that a lot of entities push back at that a lot, and they push back really hard. And I found that extremely frustrating because, I have a lot of stories to tell, and I have a lot of different types of stories to tell. I'm all over the place. Literally in this year, I've had 4 books come out, and they're all different. It's a flex, but what I'm saying is more than that. Okay, I've had Death of the Author, which came out, earlier this year, and that is, and we could talk about that when it comes to categories. They've tried to pigeonhole that one really hard when you can't. There's no category for that, or it is many categories at once, and it should be allowed to be that.
I love that you said that.
Yeah. And then I've had The Space Cat come out, which is a graphic novel about my cat. Okay. Then I've had an anthology of short stories that I edited come out this year. And then I had the part 2 of my I guess it's fantasy, novella series. It's called One Way Witch. So these are all different. They're all different, and they're all me. And so why am I called just this type of author, one genre? Like, why is that? I am many. And that should be okay, especially for me as a Black woman. That is okay.
I am
that
many.
is what it is.
Yes.
I'll stop ranting now.
I am many. We need that on the shirt, okay?
I need you to write that down.
I know. I love that. Now I have another question for all three of you. What advice would you give writers who want to cross over between YA and adult fiction?
To do it.
Simply do it.
If you want to do it, do it. Do that thing that you want to do. Don't look around. Don't let what's going on around you give you pause. Understand what's going on around you, but just do it. And the first step, though, is to do it. Okay, you're gonna have to deal with all kinds of BS along the way, of course, after you do it. But first, focus on doing it. Write the story, write it your way. Don't worry about audience, don't worry about all the things, don't worry about validation, just do it. That's my advice.
All right.
Just do it. What about you, Miss Ali?
It's such a great advice, a great piece of advice. Generally, I agree. I think generally the gatekeepers, publishing and whatever, a lot of people will care more about your brand and about you being faithful to a brand than they will about you being able to just write the stories that you want to write. And so my advice is just get in touch with what makes you happy and what these stories why do you want to tell this story? And does it make sense to tell this story, to just kind of bastardize this story and make it and turn it into something different so that it can fit a brand that maybe someone else has imposed on you? Just kind of ask yourself that, and then I think do it is really just the best piece of advice that.
I love that.
Listen, there's always going to be somebody who says yes. Like that, I feel like we, especially as creatives, those of you who are aspiring authors, you just need one yes. You need more than one, but initially you need a yes from an agent, and then you need a yes from an editor. I think so frequently we're so afraid of hearing no that we don't step out to do the thing, but somebody's gonna say yes. That's literally what is in my head when I'm writing. I'm like, this is wild AF, and somebody's gonna say yes. So we're just gonna keep going with it. So no, you can do it. Do whatever you want to do. You can and should do precisely what you want to do when it comes to what you're writing.
All right, so I have something fun that I wanted to do with y'all. It's called, we like fun. I told y'all we were gonna have a time. So I wanna do a lightning round with you all and see, either of you can pick up an answer. These are just some questions that I put together. So first one is, what is your most unhinged writing ritual?
Writing? Guys, do you have any idea?
You don't have something
listen,
that you have to do to get in the mood to write?
No. I take my kids to school, I drop them off, I come home, I sit on my couch, and I make shit up all day long. I don't think it gets, and then people give me money. It is the most unhinged thing ever, and I am so glad that I found it.
Oh, I love that.
Same, except for the taking the kid to school part.
There you go.
But I feed my cat, so really.
There you go. Somebody's got to get taken care of.
What about you?
I wouldn't call it unhinged, but I'll get an idea and I'll just literally start writing it then and there.
Then and there, okay.
then and there. No hesitation. There was something recently that I was watching something and I got an idea. I just stopped and then just went to my computer and started. And it's like gonna be something long and massive. And there was no hesitation, no thought, no need to like, freak out about it. I just started, kept going. Yeah.
Like you said, just do it.
I love that.
Basically, yeah.
So something similar. So this is like 3 weeks ago. I'm literally at the strip club. Okay. So. And for those of you who don't know, my adult debut is a murder mystery about a pair of missing strippers. So I have been spending lots of time in strip clubs. I'm standing there. I'm
Have
like,
you had the food there?
Girl, I'm from Atlanta,
the food
girl.
is so
Listen, the best lamb chops on earth are at the
if
Cheetah
you have
Lounge.
Not tried the food at a strip club.
So I'm there with a friend, and like, there's not a lot of children in here, right? So she's getting a drink at the bar, and there's literally a woman hanging from the ceiling. And like, I'm looking at her, and this whole story drops into my brain. And just like Nnedi, I pulled out my phone, and I'm just standing in the strip club. There's just naked women everywhere, and I'm standing in the middle of the floor, typing a note on my phone.
Yeah.
Do what you have to do to get your stories down.
Yes, love that. All right, this next one might ruffle some feathers. I know the girls like to tussle. But, all right, ebook, audiobook, or physical book? Ooh, don't y'all turn on me now.
I literally do all three.
Exactly.
I do too.
Literally. Like, I'll read it, and I listen to it, and I also need it on my phone. 'Cause if I don't have the physical book with me.
Yeah, I sometimes do it at the same time. Like I'm listening to it while I'm reading it, yeah.
It's good for the brain to do
It
that.
is.
Get them all.
So ebooks are best for at night when you are in bed and like you're literally just there with your phone and like your eyes are closing and you're reading the ebook because it's like just the easiest thing to carry. Then the physical book is just I don't know, nothing will ever be better than a physical book, but then there's also the audiobook for when you're doing other things. You just want to listen. So, you know, at every time, every person needs to have, it's a law, needs to have one audiobook, one ebook, and one physical book. Ever.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I don't like ebooks.
You don't like ebooks?
I don't like ebooks. I don't like reading things on my phone. I spend enough time on my phone. I don't want to look at a screen. I spend enough time, looking at a screen and writing. I don't.
And then you get a text, and like you get distracted.
There are too many things going on there. So I don't like ebooks. I also like the tactical quality of a physical book. I like the weight in my hand. The only thing is if you're reading and you fall asleep, it falls on your face. That's the only thing. But I like physical books, but I love audiobooks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too.
I love, especially when it's a good reader.
Yeah.
And there's something that all three, I think all three of them have things that they have qualities that only they have, except maybe ebooks. I don't like ebooks. But audiobooks, there's something that an audiobook can do when you're listening to it that just nothing else can. It's that oral storytelling thing, man.
It's so good.
So if I had to put a hierarchy on it, I think, and it's weird for me to say this, but I think audiobooks would be a little above the physical books. It's a little above, and then ebooks would be way down there.
Okay, I love that. We love audiobooks here. Okay, last one, because we got to get to audience Q&A. But which one of your characters, if you could choose one, would you want to have dinner with?
Like from a specific book or all of them?
All of them. Any of your characters. Just one. I know.
I have written a lot of pets. Pets of characters, and honestly, I feel like my characters are very needy and kind of annoying sometimes, but the pets never done anything wrong.
No.
So yeah, like a cat or a dog, a hedgehog,
You know what?
I don't know.
I'm going to let you have that one.
was gonna say that.
You are the one who actually should be able to say. I'm so sorry I stole this from you.
No. But yeah, okay, fine. If I can't say pet, since pets have already been taken, I was thinking maybe Okwu from Binti, the alien extraterrestrial. Can't be Earth-centric all the time. And I think it's because Okwu is so different from me. And I like being around people, or people with a capital P, that I can have a conversation with. Not that we're going to want to kill each other, not necessarily, but like someone who I'd have a conversation with, a deep conversation with, who thinks very differently from me, who I can learn something from. I love learning things that I just couldn't have learned any other way from people. It's just so different, and I think it would be really interesting. Yeah.
What about you?
I'm a cheat because that's what I do. But so Nnedi has written a comic series for Marvel, and there's a character that I cannot remember his name right now. It's gonna drive me crazy. The guy in the Shuri comic that had this is like your original character. Remind me of what his name is.
I can't remember. It's been a while. It's been a while.
So Nnedi was writing Shuri comics, and I got to write Shuri novels. And Nnedi created this male character who I just fell in love with, and he was the inspiration for the character that I created. Her name was Kamara. And so I just want to hang out with the two of them, right? Like, it's cool. The idea of getting to enter into a world that you didn't create and put something new there, I've never had an experience like that before, and I loved it. And so I want to hang out with him, and I want to hang out with Kamara.
I love that. Y'all gave great answers. All right, round of applause.